for the things. I think these are the most recommendations. The recommendation already we separated two ways. One we make for the livestock, then agriculture, and others. So in terms of maybe the agriculture, these are what we have recommended. The tips, the establishing and stating the LCIG. These are the livestock common interest group and animals feeding for emergency and crisis modifier. So I think this is the idea that we debate ourselves, and this is something that we come up, because most of the times that you can see that what we are working is more or less pastoralism. So these are one of the pillars or activities that we have just suggested. And maybe in the second part, which is goes to the livestock, is IPLI livestock insurance. I think this is also a new system for Ethiopia, where the government has taken initiative. So we are here always in the policy of the government. These are again the idea that one of the colleagues already they mentioned in our planning. So we have to be always in line with the government. And the other one is animals farming center. We have seen that they are recurring to the ground. Most of this low area, like Nomo, these areas, we have seen that the feedings comes from the highland. So at least it's good. We suggested to have animals feeding center, where we can have Sudan grass for this generating and then to modify like wet spray rather than bring it from out. And the government is also initiative. What do they call? Alak. What was the name? Dalak. These are new initiatives from the government side also. And the other one is, I think we took it. Okay, modern beekeeping. We have seen this very interested, particularly in our areas. So this can generate even the income for the community. So if we initiate this one and with well-equipped technology, maybe lesson learned from other countries. So this would be also one of the very important. And even during the discussion on the cross-border, I think these are something that they have mentioned sometimes back. I can remember. The other one is private sector support milk grouping. This is why we say there's a private sectors that they keep for animals like milking or beehive or whatever, just to support the private sectors. They are initiated private sector. Maybe if we inject them, we see that this can be a long last in terms of sustainability. For good example, fodder production, private sectors. If we support them, I think this will be also one of the areas that we say that may have, like they also call the Chichiga Milk Production Center, where they bring the milk, they give their children, and then they start their big income. So even the employment, they create the employment. Ali, I think you have. Okay, in agriculture part, we say less. It is also suggested through this Russian experience that we learn solar irrigation system if we increase is very important also. Because we have give them higher light, sunlight, so solar system is very important. Currently used for the fuel, which is currently the fuel is very expensive. In terms of adapting and improving seed production, most of the times we have seen that there are seeds which may not be adapted to this context of this hot land. So at least it is a research and finding that come up with a seed which can adapt the lands in our irrigation, because we have a two river, Ganale, where Dawa. Ganale now, for example, is the permanent river. Now this one, when you come, this is the seasonal, where now it is just dry, I think that's on the silver. So it's good also to have a kind of research. If we support them, that at least anything that can sustain with these big farms, we see they only use maize and some other things. And the other one is advocate strategic crops and care policies. I think through the high level decision makers, if you are, of course, this can also be one of the areas that in our group we discussed, like the Dalek and the Real, the one I was just talking a few minutes ago. The other one is rehabilitation and integration rangeland management systems. I think it is there, but this also is the area that needs to be still, improved by technology and maybe a discussion with the community level, having in a community-based assessment. Everything needs to be started with that need assessment to the community. And last, peacekeeping on resource-based confidence advocacy, like now this in terms of cross-border peace building. This also advocacy kind is very important, because all these three countries now, they are the same, they have the same goal, they are moving each and here and there in terms of business. And also we have a case study that we did in like few of what we did. Water, in terms of water, when it comes to rehabilitation and construction of and expansion systems. There are big boreholes. We see every year there's a water trackings, water tracks, and a lot of resources wasted. So at least if you have one big dam or a borehole, is one way of having a long-term strategy for the exit. And this will be also appreciated by the donors and also our organization and lead this. So these are initiation comes from also the community in our members. You take it? Okay, yeah. Okay, the other one is maybe solar water project to be expanded, that's already mentioned. Now the other one we have said is youth empowerment in terms of youth power creation. You see people are moving, dropouts, a lot of things. So youth empowerment in terms of maybe income generation system or youth skill development, like the one we have supported, these templates and others. So youth empowerment is very important, that's what we can. We have also talked a little bit of the school solarization is part of the elite. We have seen that the number of schools, they don't have light and other things. So this also, if we can shape this to be one of the areas, school water point, school environmental champion and the likes. I think this idea is some of our groups mentioned in multi-sectoral. I think it's approach, but perhaps we can discuss later. This multi-sectoral approach, like nutrition system in terms of the number of malnutrition cases, they are studied down somewhere. So multi-sectoral, if you pilot this kind of multi-sectoral where the health, wash, all these you can have in the same common understanding could be also very important in terms of nutrition system. And capacity building, we have taken one of idea, I think stakeholders capacity building in terms of accountability, ownership. Rather than giving the project comes and goes, but at least this the community will have the ownership. So this kind of training, if we provide them, I think it's one of the ways that can have the exit strategy at the end of the day, that they can have the feeling of accountability. And the project Christ Modifier, this also, it's not sequenced actually, alright, we'll post it later we can make. Christ Modifier is very important. Right now, we have got a lesson learned from the project. With a few Christ Modifier that cash multi-purpose cash and analyze. So if you have at least development project, Christ Modifier is very important because we don't know how things are shifting day by day. Things change because of the climate and situations. And the other, last but not the least, stipulation and strengthening the cluster correlation. Everything goes through cluster system. When I say the clusters, the agriculture clusters, the education, the livestock, whatever it is, the cluster correlation, that's the way we can get a lot of input in the need of the community and doing the system. So what is doing like for the new matrix, where care is doing, where any extra is doing. So this kind of correlation is very important. This will over to you. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Somalia team. Okay, good afternoon. We are here to take you through the recommendation of our Somalia team those gentlemen and women behind there. So the recommendation, due to the time, I will go and speak. The recommendation is promoting diversified agricultural production by using new technological approach like solar irrigation, distribution of timely variety seeds, alternative affordable irrigation system like using pipeline to overcome floods. The team recommended the use of pipeline system instead of canal because there is a frequent flooding and the pipeline system is more sustainable and it is through DRR learning it becomes more sustainable for the pipeline system to overcome the challenges of floods instead of canal. The other recommendation, it was highly recommended to maintain cross-border programming approach. The team said that the way the program is being developed, it is very nice, fantastic, realistic, and it is something that are more impactful than other programs that are implemented in assembly. Therefore, they are recommending cross-border programming the way it is. The other recommendation is expansion of programming to new villages while maintaining the existing village. The other recommendation is promoting livestock value chain by creating livestock market. They say that like in Belhawa district there is no livestock market that exists, and also construction of market shed for livestock. The other recommendation is to strengthen rangeland management policy. Another recommendation is promoting pro-service to liberal value chain. Also here the team discussed a lot inclusion of price modifier activities in future programming, e.g. water tracking, UCT, rather than the current program operation that was not much invested in price modifier. Therefore, we are in the context of climate change and the team is recommending price modifier activity. Integration of water source technology, and also is strengthening early warning digital system. The also team is recommending integration of conflict management in all project components. Indeed, the team said that initially, instead of having peace building, there is need to integrate all program project activities. For example, DRR, there should be a conflict management component. There is also NRM, the same, as well as the level. The other recommendation is supporting of cross-border government coordination and relevant ministries. The team said, and also part of the government said, that the program need to create a forum whereby the government officials come to support, to come together and discuss issue of security, issue of safer movement, and other things related to cross-border safer movement for the betterment of the people. The other recommendation is integration of new technological skills into TVET programming. Instead of having tie and dye and tailoring, there is need to include our TVET program in solarization service, women identification, and a new technological skills. The other issue is gender mainstreaming to our program. They've also recommended to expand women empowerment initiatives like BSLA, nursery groups, poultry farming, and other related women empowerment activities. The team also emphasized private business investments through grants and formation of small-scale business enterprise that will really develop the economical investments at cross-border level. Finally, last but not the least, adding value chain for farm product. They say that people are doing a lot of effort and organizations are doing serious effort for production, but unfortunately, they say that perishable products like tomatoes, it cannot be stored for quite long. Therefore, they need to have an ideas whereby maybe to processing and making a machine that makes to stay longer. Therefore, that is our final. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bashi, for the presentation. We are not doing the translation, I'm sure, because we wanted participants to participate in the discussion, so they rated which group has participated and they know what they have written down. And finally, the host, I understand, is a group that is going to close the borders as early as possible because of some instances, so we don't wish to keep them longer here.
come to Kenyan presentation, we had deliberations on how the activities or the activity of Oresha can be enhanced or can be incorporated with this following items. So we separated each and every item. We started with livestock and agriculture. In livestock and agriculture, we say livestock vaccination, treatment, and deworming to be enhanced probably, or to be scaled up. And then in terms of the disease surveillance, should also be taken into consideration. We also say training of community disease reporters. Of course, they are already on the ground. I've been doing quite some times. Boresha have also trained a few of them, but we say the training should be scaled up, as Mandera County is a very vast in terms of the triangular bordering. We also said establishment and improvement of breeds, training staffs on participatory epidemiology, provision of livestock feedings, provision of feed plots, provision of fodder seeds and construction of fodder stores, construction of irrigation canals. These are all something which has been raised by the Kenyan team, hoping that this is still necessary and indeed required in the community. That is in terms of agriculture. Now when you come to the wash sector, we deliberated and come up also with the following items: construction of underground tanks, stroke rehabilitation, and also digging earth pans, shallow wells, and latrines. This has been a very sensitive and a very good idea which has been brought initially. And being vast and along the triangular border, we still require it to be scaled up also. Solarization of boreholes, piping systems have also been requested to be put into place. Training of water training committees. That is now, there are water association users in place in the county. Some of them maybe had trainings from the county government or the national government. What they have requested is the training to be enhanced so that the hygiene factors to be put in place. Of course, the hygiene promotions also will chip in. Youth and women empowerment. This is now TVET training, of course, has been there, but we need also to be scaled up to reach over 100,000 plus. Provision of TVET startup kits, business skills training, provision of business grants, promotion of VSLN into corporate to SACCO. These are ideas which also generated from Kenya side. We thought it is very important. The side of NRM, that is the Natural Resource Management, we said implementation and linkage stroke dissemination of NRM agreements for Mandera Triangle. There have been an agreement which was reached that the three countries signed by the local administrators, probably disseminated partly into the local community. So what they have said is the NRM agreement to be fully disseminated into the larger triangular border communities. Provision of charcoal brigade. We also know that the machine is already in place. Charcoals, during this drought season, charcoals are being manufactured from the algroves. We normally call it algrove or propis. I don't know which language, but there's a term we use. So we asked for more, maybe those charcoal brigades or the machines which normally prepares charcoal. Develop rangeland management plan so that the county government can also chip in terms of the plan itself. A certain management plan can be reached. Rehabilitation of rangeland management, that is cash for work in terms of repairing of the shallow wells, etc. And then we also said there's a component called conflict. Conflict we say the community engagement of the tribunal on peaceful issues. The community, the three countries' community should be engaged in terms of sensitizing on community engagement on peaceful coexistence. And then they also came up with deradicalization through involvement of youth and women. Community-led counter-violence extremism. Formation of workable peace clubs in learning institutions. Training of peace committees. Training of DRR committees. These are the components which hope and thought that is also very vital to be discussed. In terms of health, we also said nutrition, lactating mothers under 5 years, we also looked into, because we have a very big death mortality in this area. As you know, the mothers lactating requires a lot of attention. Prevention of communicable diseases. Of course, currently we are also facing a lot of diseases along this corridor. We requested Mauritius also to chip in or to assist in preventing these communicable diseases through a lot of means, sharing with the public health guys will have. We also summarized with the emergencies. Emergency in terms of this drought-stricken time, we say, or they said, we require cash transfer so as to caution the locals of the community on this drought time. Livestock offtake. The livestock offtake, I'm sure we will also look into that. Animals are also dying, cows are dying, goods are likewise. The offtake will assist the community also. Water tracking, if possible, I'm sure there were sometimes we were reading what the Bush was telling us, there were water tracking. Scale up the water tracking also, we have also said that. With those few and many remarks, thank you very much. Any question?
Abdullahi Al-Mansahari. Thanks very much, Abdullahi. Now we have reached the end of the group presentations and also the end of our agenda, our program. So we have reached the end. We are almost closing. Just before we close, I wish to give opportunity to Mr. Adrian to make a few remarks. But before Adrian, in case maybe there is one or two participants, maximum three, one from each country, who feels that there is an important point you wish to share with us and to not present in any other forums, this is the opportunity now providing. وان صور الاشياء كاين انت ويلتر وهنربي لها حدود رقوف هل لبا ما ستح كبرنا او ربي لها ان وعسو جيديو فرصه وعسو جيديو نقول هين حتى فرصه سينا يا ما حدود جرو مع فضل صور دواو ادي كلمه عن خيرنا اوكي anybody وما صدقين
Bismillah. I'm Hussein Hassan. I think I'm introducing myself this morning. Executive Secretary, Kenya National Union of Teachers in the branch. I may try to say this. Thank you very much. From the way it reads, building opportunities for resilience in the Horn of Africa. But unfortunately, part of it reads again close out with, you know, the very important statement is ended with, you know, with a kind of shocking Thank you very much. It has been going on very well. I think we are stakeholders of this county, Mbeya County in particular, and then neighboring Ethiopia and Somalia. I may say what has been done a long time ago has been really felt. Many people have really felt what the donors have really done and the implementers have really done. You may see the mixture, of people who are seated here means a lot. It did not just come very easily, but it is through the initiative of, the donors fund to the implementers and then to the ground. I may give thanks to, the donors who have really taken their time. I consider Mandela and then the Three Triangular as one of the hotspot area, and then consider it as people who will be brought together from the three angles. Thank you very much. I may say we have a lot of gaps. The gaps is still there. The work that has been done, well, but still the need is up in the scale. So I may say the donors who have really made all their way to this midpoint to at least go back and receive and think about how to rejuvenate the activities that is now came to an end. I may say thank you very much, and I thank the implementers of these programs to have really initiated and then brought all these people together, and then this itself is learning. I think today we have learned almost many people that we didn't know before. This itself is step up. I say thank you very much and wish that the donors will not close their pocket, but open their pocket for the door for the workers again.
ومعتني هاي وكسر الأمور مع البيت ومنديرة مركا دانسوكو أو مهدرية مشروعا ونجعل لها مشروعا نسيوه. If there is no anybody else, I will hand over now the closing remarks to Mr. Adrian. Please welcome.
Great, so I won't keep you long because I know that some of you have to rush to cross the border quickly before it becomes too late, so I'll be very brief. I'm really happy we were able to have our final session, one which is looking forward with ideas for what might come next and what we can do better next time, because that's very much the spirit that I want to carry away from this meeting. I think also, we were having a very interesting discussion, CARE, DRC and World Vision colleagues around this table over here. And a lot of what you were saying, a lot of the ideas that came up just then were echoed very much in what we were talking about too, including in what the donor is saying that they want to see in the next version of the program. So things around, for example, integrated conflict mitigation.
وحنا هذا ما ندري مع كلهم كان يوصلوا الغاتين بدك نروح لوجي هاي كاركين إن سي زبطي بارتين وملات كما تكون موتي ما كأوقت دير من هذا يوم بدي كله وعاد ما ندري فكرة ذي كله تقول بالوصول جديد وحيل قبل لها يوم مشروع بيروح دمبه ويجيه دمبه سبب الله هاي ما كأوقت وقال ما سنتين خاصة ما هي صدق هيرنا بقولوا فأنت اللي كان في البداية صدق هيرنا ما بقولوا فاستان في الرضي بيسول جديد بدو يعني عن سول جديد يوحدين عن سول جديد ويسول كائن.
So, for example, like a lot of what you were saying around integrating conflict mitigation and working with peace committees, or integrating gender, or having a crisis modifier to respond to the next crisis. All of that has already gone into what's the plan for the next program.
Pokoknya bahaya kesewah kami deh ini mah press modify mah harus kasar buat musuhin kesol untuk mereka sedikit image kalau juga mah gunyahan mereka musuh buku terkero tas mau ada anak kawan fikir tu lagi mati sudah oke hari mah mah tidak fuin kan orang hanya sesuatu kalau ada anak fikir tu lagi mati ini kan kita.
And maybe just the other thing that, acknowledging that the drought is ongoing now, and even in 6 months it will still be affecting people badly, it will take a while to recover, plan our program in a way which responds to the needs of people, even when they're still suffering from drought. And we shouldn't try and do everything all at once in terms of the liberation program.
midda kale waan ognahay wadawada adkayna abaaraha oo sii dheeraanayo waa laga yaabaa waqti dheeraan sii socdaan marka waa diyaariyadana sidoo kale way u talagashay si ay idin kaalmeyn lahayd laakiin uma leeyin uu dhahe wax maarata hal mar aan soo abtiri karno.
So I'm going to cut it short there and say just once again, thank you so much for coming. You've given us some fantastic inspiration for what we need to do next and how we need to design our next program. It's been really a pleasure and honor to be engaging with you.
ugu dambaysigii aad baan ii mahadcelinay habka u imaateen iyo saa u qayb qaateen rajaa la geliseen buu dhahe sida u qayb qaateen iyo waxyaabihii ay noo soo jeediseen rajooyin bay ugu abuurteen inaan isla shaqayn karno oo mas-uul isla wadi karno qeybaha dambe.
So friends and colleagues from Somalia, from Ethiopia, from Kenya, thank you once again. Safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you soon and continuing to engage with you.
saaxiibaha iyo taliyaasha socda Soomaaliya, Ethiopia iyo Kenya wabada waa mahadsan tihiin. waxaan rajaynayaa in si noo ku tartiib meelaad ka imaateen iyo marka la isku imaan doono waqti kale annagoo isla shaqeynayno.
Mahadsani and asanteni.
shirkii u dhamaaday waad fasaxan tihiin.